Ba 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 doo ba doo ba doo ba doo.
On the road again.
Like
And
a
on
band of gypsies, we go down the highway.
and on
We're
that
the
note,
best of
welcome
friends.
to another episode of Who's Nerds Podcast
It's
with
on the road
your
again.
the MC for the night, Mikey, and the
Seeing
two Chris's.
places I don't ever want to see again. Oh, something like that.
The reason your ears are bleeding is because we're singing.
I can't wait to get on the road again.
The dog's howling in the background, the windows breaking.
My glasses just cracked.
Um, shall we start with the birth ASMR we had?
Yeah, like I said, I wrote that down. I was like, ugh.
Sorry to steal that from you, Mikey, but you
No,
posted
no,
it. I'm like,
you're
I'm
fine.
gonna
Yeah,
I'm gonna steal that.
it was perfect. Yeah, I was like, that's immediately what I thought of. I was like, this is God. So what are you making? Mac and cheese?
I mean, I'm gonna guess that's how it sounds, but I didn't even know that yet.
What a way to get like the attention of everyone. It's like, what the fuck?
I didn't
So-
know how to react. Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
So it jumps 10 years in the future, I think, is what they say.
Yep, 10 years.
Right. And now, what's his name? Looks like the dude from the Rocky Horror Picture Show now.
What? Who?
The king.
You gotta
the king.
you gotta use fucking names, dude.
The
Yeah,
king.
You like-
At least
king.
give us a hint,
The king. The king looks like the dude.
The one dude, okay, yeah,
Viserys.
and
Viserys with his hair. He looked like the dude from Rocky Horror Picture Show.
he is just alive still to spite Otto, I bet. Only reason he's still alive is to spite Otto.
I'm surprised he's still alive.
He's missing
I
an
was
arm
too.
now.
He's missing a whole arm.
Yeah, he's missing an arm
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
I didn't even notice that. I didn't. I noticed like they kind of had his like fingers and stuff. They showed his fingers and stuff, but I didn't even notice though he was missing a whole arm. That's nuts.
Yeah, he's missing a whole arm now. I guess that's the that Iron Throne's really giving it to him.
Well,
I got it. Yeah, I gotta say how stupid Princess Rhaenyra is for thinking she can get away with fucking having babies with the city watch.
Why? 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 Because they're not. They don't look
Yeah.
anything like they're.
No, they don't look anything like her. They don't look anything like her
they're
husband.
pale as somebody from like Norway. Not even dark skinned like their dad, like quote unquote dad.
I will say though, when she give birth, the queen wants to see the baby immediately.
Yeah.
And she gets up. It kind of reminded me of that scene in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles when he's like, "Last baby we had came out sideways."
That would hurt.
Yeah, so that's kind of what it reminded me of. There, I sent that. That's who Viserys looked like. He looked like Riff Raff in Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I never knew I could hate somebody more than Cersei, but Alicent is quickly becoming.
I like
My
her.
most-
She's kind
Why?
of
Yeah, I like her. Why?
I do
she's
too.
Because she's a conniving little.
She's a queen. She's allowed to.
Yeah, but
I mean, she's doing exactly what Cersei did, I guess. but,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like she's trying to protect her family. She's trying not to like let anyone die. Doesn't want anyone to die.
except for the strong family, because her
Yeah.
new best friend
Oh yeah.
Strong killed his brother and his dad.
That was-
Burned him.
That was pretty hard metal. That was pretty metal. And
That was nuts.
yeah, I thought I was like surprised. Damon's wife, like Lena Villaren, I think it's. I don't
Is
know.
it the
Yeah,
one that walked out
Lena.
to the dragon?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
wild.
It's brutal,
Well,
wasn't it?
she
Jeez.
said she wanted to go out as a dragon rider, and so,
What did she?
but she did. She burned to death, even though most dragon riders are, immune to fire, like the Targaryens.
She went the Aunt Maru special, and she got it. Just
And
fried right up.
her kid got the Uncle Owen special.
Yes.
I was
This
like, are we
is-
going to get a reenactment of the Queen from the first episode chopping the baby out? Nope. The baby got cooked.
Whoa, yeah, boy. That was rough.
How
That was a
much
rough episode to watch.
do you think Damon's just going to ditch his kids now? Like, just ditch them where they're at?
I don't know.
I don't. He could. The thing is, like, he could potentially marry them off again, but maybe
Does
like
he really care?
I don't think he does. No, deep down, because I mean, with the extra the behind the scenes thing at the end, it kind of explained like Damon's thing because he doesn't want to be involved in the Westeros like politics. That's why they spent so long over there.
He doesn't, but he does.
I mean,
Because he's still reading the books and he's still, wanting to do stuff.
yeah,
If he didn't want to be involved, he would have like just disappeared. But no, he's trying to make alliances. He's like, okay, yeah, I'll fight a war for you that will totally affect, the Westerosi politics.
yeah, and I'm sure. I wonder if like Rhaenyra, like he'll come to help Rhaenyra or some way or whatnot.
Well,
Like, because I think that's something like he would. That's the only way like he would go back to Westeros.
in the next episode preview, you saw him with Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
I almost said Daenerys.
And where's she going now?
She's
She
a
went to-
Dragonstone.
Yeah, Dragonstone.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Technically, that's where the heir when that's like so in with Targaryen when the Targaryens took over Westeros, the heir is technically supposed to go to Dragonstone and await their time to be king or queen. So I figured out I couldn't figure out who the guy was. Like I knew he was like her baby Rhaenyra's baby daddy. I couldn't figure out like who he was, but he was the guy that saved her in that brawl last week.
Yeah, it wasn't the guy she was banging in the last episode.
No, it was the
It's
guy
the other
that
guy.
saved her.
Yeah, the guy in the beard and mustache, the heavier
Yeah.
beard and mustache. Yeah. It wasn't Crystal or Kriston or whatever. It wasn't him.
Gaston.
Gaston. Yeah. It wasn't him. Yeah, it was the other
I hate
dude.
that guy now. He's a dick. He
Is he the one
did
that Is he the one that was bullying the kids around?
yeah.
That was awesome, though. Kids got to learn something.
Kids got to learn somehow.
Kid looked like the kid from Stranger Things with a blonde wig on.
Oh, that window is getting some different views this time.
What?
The window that what was Joffrey's brother's name?
Oh yeah,
one-
dude. What the hell is that all about? I mean,
That's the same window he jumped out of.
I mean, you know, that guy can whack off in front of everybody, and everybody's fine and dandy. I do it on my balcony, and the cops get called. So I don't understand what the difference. That's what I thought. That's the same window, right?
Yeah. At least that's like
what is
what
going
I think.
What makes you want to just stand up in front of the whole kingdom and
Hey,
just
whatever gets your jollies off. Let's be honest.
I don't know, dude. That was. And then his hot mom walks in. I thought for sure there was going to be some
Oh no.
Knowing Game of Thrones, I would not have been surprised.
I know, right?
Jesus.
Can I just say, Aegon does not want to be king. 100%, he does not want to be king. It's his mom making him. He's like, I just want to sit here and whack off on windows and wink at
Yeah, that's exactly what he wants to do. Yeah,
handmaids, maidens.
he very much wants to be. He wants to, just go out and get drunk and bang whores.
Yeah.
That's his goal in life. He doesn't want to be. He's very much like, yeah, that guy. God.
I love how in the small council episode when Rhaenyra was like, "I'll marry my son to your daughter," the king was like, "Yeah, that's a great idea." And you can totally tell Alicent was like, "Nah, fuck this bitch."
Yeah, right.
Even though it was be a good idea, but obviously Alicent's gonna say no. I am sorry for yawning. I worked 12 hours today. I know Mikey's like, that ain't nothing.
I've been
Yeah,
working
right.
10. I haven't worked 12 in a while, but
Well,
it's
I
been
wasn't
pretty
supposed
slow.
to work 12, but we're so short. And somebody called in sick, so I was politely, quote unquote, asked if, but more, hey, you got to work 12.
Really? Yeah,
Yeah.
see, I don't miss that.
And then
Yeah.
I didn't have a lunch because, I was going to run home and eat lunch and then I go back to work because I work a split shift. And I'm lucky the route I was on, or there's a route that goes by my apartment. So I was able to run to the apartment and get food.
See, that's when I would just stop at like Burger King or Wendy's and just grab food and eat and drive at the same time.
Well, it's easy it's easy when you do paratransit, but when you're on a fixed route, you can't really just stop and run in somewhere.
Oh, you don't go past any.
I mean, I do, but it's still, I can't really just stop.
Right. But you did.
Well, yeah, because I just run in, grab leftover pasta, run out.
So you had cold pasta?
No, we got a break room and a microwave.
Oh. Oh,
I
you
had my
took it back.
30-minute lunch. Yeah.
Oh, but you had it back at the place.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Huh, I don't miss driving.
You missed it a little bit.
Not even a little. None of it. I don't miss a single thing of it. My driving consists of the store and going to Mikey's and whatever else. I got to drive to Monticello now.
And back to the store.
Back to the store. I go to the store Thursday. I can get back to the gym.
So do I. So Deadpool 3 was announced.
With
you guys watch
Wolverine?
the video?
No, I didn't watch
Yeah.
the video.
Yeah, I watched it.
I'm excited. I hope Wolverine's all serious and Deadpool is Deadpool.
Well, Deadpool will be Deadpool.
But I hope, since Netflix owns the rights, not Netflix, geez. Since Disney owns the rights now to Deadpool, I hope it's not Disneyed up. I hope it keeps the rated R feel.
Well, and it's on Disney now, right? Didn't I watch it on Disney?
Yeah, I watched Deadpool on Disney the other day too. But I just hope it's not. I hope I don't have to watch, 20 episodes of two shows I don't want to watch and then 5 movies to understand what's going on.
Right.
I just don't want Deadpool to become one of those. I want it to be its own thing like it's been.
Right. No, I get it. I know what you're saying. When's it coming out? Probably next year after?
Hold on. I think it's next year. Let me look really quick. I think they actually gave it a date. I think it's March of next year.
Really?
Yeah, which I was kind of surprised because that means Deadpool 3 release date. Oh, September 6th, 2024. So a little
Labor Day
less than a year.
weekend, probably.
Yeah. But still, that means they're probably pretty far into, shooting already.
There weren't a lot of summer blockbuster releases this year.
Honestly, there were a lot of good movies that came out this year. Movies are back, baby. But movie
all
theaters
summer long.
I don't know about that.
That's what I'm saying. There were not movies. That's what I'm saying. All summer long, there were not. There was not a blockbuster summer. You know what I mean? That starts in April, goes into May, and then June, and then you have a July 4th. What was released on July 4th?
Maverick?
No, that was Labor. That was Memorial Day.
Oh. I don't know. What?
That's what I'm saying.
The only movies I ever really thought about that I ever actually went were like Maverick, and Love and Thunder. I think were like the only movies I saw.
Oh yeah, Love and Thunder. I'm trying to think. I'm looking at the last movie I saw was let's see. Black Phone was the last movie I saw. That was June 25th.
I'm looking to see what movies came out this year.
I do want to.
So
I wanted to see Bullet Train.
Jurassic World, but that movie didn't do too. So I'm on Rotten Tomatoes looking right now. So starting in, this is kind of confusing how their website's working. Give me a second.
Didn't Nope come out too?
May is Doctor Strange. May was Doctor Strange, Firestarter.
Yeah, Firestarter was a piece of crap, I guess.
Downton Abbey.
Maverick.
Men, Emergency, Maverick, Bob's Burgers. Which Kimberly started watching Bob's Burgers, and I watched like the first season of Bob's Burgers, and I didn't get into it. But she's on like season 3 or 4. She's on season 5, and I'm really enjoying it right now. It is pretty funny. This is just Rotten Tomatoes like best movies of the summer, I think, because there are a lot more that released. Right. Watcher in June, Crimes of the Future, Jurassic World, Lightyear, Brian and Charles, Elvis. I forgot about Elvis.
Elvis, yeah. The Minions movie too.
Yeah, Black Phone, Thor, Paws of Fury. That movie looked like it would be really funny for kids. It's like the ninja or the samurai dogs and cats.
It seemed like Nope. It didn't do much.
I heard it was really good. It got an 82% on Rotten Tomato.
There was nothing that was like, oh my god, I gotta go see that at the theater.
Bullet Train is like one of the only ones I didn't get to see that I wanted to see. But I'm guessing it will be on something soon. A movie that's out right now that I kind of want to see. Yeah, I think it's called Woman King or something.
I don't want to see that. It just didn't look interesting. What you call it is Bullet Train is going to be. You can rent it on Prime.
Give me the name and all. Bullet Train looks hilarious because Brad Pitt is our Lord.
I saw that Crawdad movie.
What Crawdad movie?
Singing Crawdads.
When did you see that?
Saturday.
Oh, well, tell us about it.
I watched it on
What was it called?
Where the Crawdads sing.
Oh, sorry, I saw it on Kimberly. There's a movie she wants to see called "Don't Worry, Darling." It's a thriller horror movie.
That's it. Directed by another actor, a really successful actress.
Don't worry.
She's fucking hot.
Okay, well, you got to give us some names.
It's got Harry Styles, Olivia Wilde.
Olivia Wilde.
Olivia Wilde, yeah.
Oh, and it's got Chris Pine in it.
That's good. Don't worry, darling. It's got Olivia Wilde, Harry Styles, Okay,
and
that
Chris
makes
Pine.
Florence Pugh. I don't care about Chris Pine.
It's Kirk. You gotta
Oh.
care about him.
No, it's somebody even better. It's Nick Kroll.
Speaking of Kirk, really quick, Lower Decks is hands because Tim's not here and he can't say anything. Lower Decks is hands down the best Star Trek right now, as of right now. There's no Trek better than Lower Decks anymore.
I want to see Pearl. That comes out.
Why is it so good?
Yeah, why is it so good?
Because it doesn't take itself seriously. It's just hilarious all the time. So this episode, Mariner and what's his name? Mariner and hold on, I can't believe I forget his name. It's voiced by the guy. It's Jack Quaid from
Yeah, I know who
Brad
Jack
Boyd
Boyd is.
Boimler. They have to do they're at like a job fair and they're trying to get people to recruit for the Federation.
Mm-hmm.
And they keep getting like shit talk to him from everybody, like, oh, you're gonna get assimilated by the Borg. Like, anytime someone tried to like ask questions, oh, you're gonna get assimilated by the Borg. Oh, you're gonna get killed by a changeling, or something like that. And finally, they just snap. And the best quote is Boimler says, "Without the Federation, you wouldn't even be here. You'd be assimilated. You'd be killed. You'd be a slave or something." It was just hilarious because all these people are free because of the Federation. It was just, it was funny. It's in the sense of like Family Guy and Futurama and stuff like that, where it's an adult comedy, but it doesn't take itself seriously. It actively makes fun of itself, and it just actively makes fun of Trek. Even like it makes fun of like the dumb stereotypes. Because there was one episode they were about to go on a away mission, and Boimler noticed he was the only like red shirt, and he was like, "Uh-oh."
Yeah, I feel like I'd have to understand Star Trek a little bit more to understand all the nuances of
Right.
those jokes.
Would you say that, Chris? I don't think so.
I know the red shirt. Yeah, if you're a red shirt, you're dead, essentially.
There's a lot of
Is it like being a black person in a horror movie?
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. if there was a group sent down to the planet in Star Trek, and there was a red shirt guy that you never recognized, you knew he was going to die.
or get taken over.
Right.
Oh, the big thing they were making fun of was in the Next Generation, butt parasites. They weren't really butt parasites, but that was the joke in Lower Decks. Butt parasites took over like admirals and was trying to take over the Federation.
Oh, okay.
So that was like one of the big jokes because there's like a conspiracy theorist guild, and they were giving it to him a little bit too. Mike, I would say you don't have to understand Trek to watch it,
I don't think so either.
but it would help.
You
with
might
some
not
of the
get
more,
some of the jokes, yeah, but I don't watch Next Generation because it's crap, and I've watched Lower Decks, so you could probably get away with it.
and just like general like pop culture knowledge of Star Trek is enough to get you by with a lot of the jokes.
Right. Oh my God.
So sorry I interrupted you, Chris.
Yeah, we were talking movies. X is coming out. X came out 2 weeks ago. That's a prequel to that. Not
X gonna give it to you.
Not X. Pearl. Pearl is the prequel to X, which is a horror movie. It came out 2 weeks ago, and then Smile comes out this weekend, which they're running a killer commercial on Fox television with their at the baseball games.
Yeah,
It's putting these creepy ass people behind home plate, and you just sit there and smile and stare at the camera and look really creepy. So hopefully the Smile movie is good with all the promotion they're throwing at it. That's a genius promotion. Let's sit somebody behind home plate in nationally televised baseball games to disturb people while they're watching America's pastime. I mean, that's just a great idea.
sounds good to me.
I don't think the movie looks that spectacular, but the promotion is killer. So I could see it Thursday night if I wanted to at 7:45. It's gonna be at the movies. There's a lot of horror movies. Halloween's coming out soon. Yeah, Halloween Ends comes out the 14th. So Pray for the
Wait, they're
Devil's
already
the
making another
28th.
Halloween movie?
No, they already did make another Halloween movie.
Is
Halloween
that the one we
Ends.
saw?
No, that's Halloween Kills. Evil dies tonight.
Wait,
Evil
I
dies.
never
guy.
even knew they were making this one.
Yes.
But I thought Evil died.
Not that night.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Can I just say, other than like the kills, just being like going back to that movie, just the kills were spectacular, but it was the stupidest movie I've ever seen.
It's like that Texas Chainsaw Massacre that they redid, like
yeah.
just most recently. The kills were pretty spectacular, but other than that,
If you're going in it for just gory horror, there you go.
right.
Are we gonna go see that movie? Go to like the IMAX. Or
I
something?
I do want to see Halloween at the theater.
Well, we could go to like Castleton, we'll get some, body armor, and go to Castleton.
Get some castles and go to get somebody or go to Castleton. Well, I mean, we could go out to 69 too, whatever that theater is.
I mean, we could go to Muncie also. Muncie's right there.
It's just, it's about as close, ain't it?
Yeah.
Let's just either or. That's what I said. You know, that one there on 69. By the Red
I know
Robin
which one.
and Nice.
Yeah. Where we used to go for the IMAX, or at least I used to go to the IMAX.
Yeah.
For it.
Yeah, we could go
It's
there.
that
too.
little strip mall there.
Yeah, near Deer Creek.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, either or. Yeah, we could plan that. We could go. And then go to a winery to eat dinner.
Get plastered off wine tasting.
Yes, wine tasting. At Cesar Palace. He's the owner. So no, was I the only one that watched Andor? Nobody watched Andor. Mikey,
I watched the
Cobra
first
Kai.
episode.
Yeah.
Have you watched any more Cobra Kai, Mikey?
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say something Sunday when you came over, but I didn't want to. I wanted your reaction on the podcast. So I think I watched, up to 5. So I still got like what 5 episodes?
5
4
episodes. Yeah.
I noticed the bar fight between like the ladies.
Yes.
When they were leaving the bar, I saw Brownie the elf from the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, they're supposed to be in Ohio.
Yeah, I saw it on the bar door. I was like, "What?"
Yeah, because they're supposed to be in Ohio.
Yeah.
Just some reason she's from Ohio, and her best friend is from Ohio. I don't know how they tied that in,
but I've never heard of Brownie the elf. Until they put it on the field, and this was
really.
Yeah, and this is the first time I was like, did they get inside knowledge that they're putting it on the field or something? Or
I mean, that's very possible. What a way to promote. That's a great idea.
Yeah. Terry Silver, he's such a great villain.
He is is he not one of the most awesome villains I've seen? Yeah.
He is so good. And then, spoiler alert, Kreese has a granddaughter. What the fuck? I was like, he's playing the long game. You find that at the end, it was at the end of 5, beginning of 6. You kind of get that he's playing the long game.
Yeah,
really
exactly.
Great. Fucking awesome. And then I feel like Cobra Kai is like a soap opera this season.
Yeah,
if you ever seen soap operas, it plays just like one.
You're right.
General Hospital.
It is with what's her name and the boys and
the boys fighting and then the divorce and then how he reacts after the divorce. Not divorce, sorry, the breakup.
The breakup.
Yeah.
Is this season not the best?
No, it's really good.
Yeah, it's good, but it's just it's like the cheesy soap opera type. It's still got good writing and stuff, but you could just tell it's got that hint of being a soap opera.
I like the way they wrote in the girl from Karate Kid 3
Yeah,
into the
yeah.
show.
I
That
saw
was a great idea.
I didn't. I was like, I didn't recognize her because I don't remember the last time I seen Karate Kid 3, but
Right.
they did that flashback. I'm like, okay,
Yeah, that's her. Yeah, Robin Lively, the Good Witch,
yeah,
whatever it was. That horrible ass movie, but she's hot in it. Um, yeah, that was a great tie-in. I like how they tied all that together. That was pretty sweet. They're really good at. They're the best, I think, at bringing nostalgia back out of every TV show, aside from Top Gun, which stole the idea from Star Wars. Um, they are very good with the references of the 80s, the music of the 80s. It's all, they are the best at it. I have never seen anybody do retro and throw back to the 80s the way this TV show has. So
yeah, yeah.
it's one of my favorite shows ever. I could watch them all again, really. So, but nobody else watched Andor.
I watched the first episode.
It starts out a little slow. I'm not gonna lie.
I think that's what really killed me was it. I was interested, but I think I was only interested because it was Star Wars.
Well, that's the only reason I'm watching it, because it's Star Wars.
But I'll probably watch like the next 2 episodes this week.
Remember Star Wars? Remember
Remember
Star Wars?
Chewbacca?
Remember Chewbacca?
Remember the Ewoks saving the?
Remember Jabba the Hutt? Okay, so I've been watching true crime documentaries because I'm slowly turning into a person, according to Gina. She swears I'm going to turn into a serial killer because I don't shave, get a haircut,
You
and
already
I
are.
leave my apartment. I watched. First off, I watched there's a three or four episodes of The Bling Ring, which they made a movie about, started Emma Watson. And The Bling Ring was this group of teenagers that would break into famous people's homes and steal their shit. This really happened.
That was a good movie.
They
Yeah,
stole.
this sounds familiar.
Yeah, they stole from Rachel Bilson, Orlando Bloom, Katy Perry, and Paris Hilton.
Wow, you think Emma Watson would have enough money?
Well, here's the thing. So in The Bling Ring, the character she played in real life, that character was only on. She went into Orlando Bloom's house. That was the only robbery she was part of. She took a dress and like a bag or something. That was it. And so the movie kind of played up like she wasn't even important, but in the movie she's the ringleader. The guy in real life, the guy is the ringleader. Him and his friend, they're the ones that started it all.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they would just like. But here's the dumb part. So like, oh, Lindsay Lohan, they broke into her house too. Maybe it wasn't Katy Perry. Maybe it was Lindsay Lohan. But they would like go to their house and they would just like open the front door and walk right in, or open the back door and go right in. They could get into a window, a sliding glass door in the back. That they just walked right into these houses. It was insane.
Jeez.
And it's funny because okay, like to break it down, so like you have the Hollywood sign, right? In Hollywood, you have the Hollywood sign. So on one side of that mountain in the valley, that's Hollywood. That's where all the rich people live, right? Which I think is the San Fernando Valley, right? Something like that. On the other side is the suburbs. That's where all the poor people live. So it's weird how that Hollywood sign separates the rich from the middle class, basically. And that's where these kids grow up. And they talk about social media and how like that's how they knew where these celebrities were based on like TMZ or Perez Hilton's website. They knew where these celebrities were, and they weren't going to be home, and then they broke in. That's how they did it. But the girl that Emma Watson played in real life, her and her mom was like, she was some kind of model or something back in the 80s, and they got a reality show on E. Oh, and here's the thing. Showrunners for reality TV are the worst people in the world. They are the absolute scum of the earth type of people. Because when they were getting ready to shoot the pilot for their reality show on E, the police showed up. to arrest that girl. And they were all over it. Like they were like, what are we going to do with this TV show? Oh, she's getting arrested. This is going to be gold. That's all they cared about. They didn't care about the people. All they wanted was the show. They want something for ratings. That's all these showrunners cared about. I'd call them C words if I was that way. That's how much I think of them.
You
That's
call them
how
cats?
yeah, sure. So that's how
Meow.
yeah,
Sorry.
that's how awful. I couldn't of the worst people. Okay, the kids, yeah, they broke into celebrity homes, and that's horrible and terrible, and you shouldn't do that. The showrunners, like morality wise, are the worst people in the world when it comes to reality show producers and showrunners. They disgusted me more than the kids did. I mean, you could say the kids are a product of social media, reality TV, where all this all kids, all kids want to be famous. You don't have to be famous. You don't have to do anything to be famous. Paris Hilton, the Kardashians, they're not famous for doing anything. They're just famous for who they are.
They're famous for having a sex tape.
Essentially, yes. So these kids see that. They're jealous of that lifestyle. They want that lifestyle. So they'll do. Some kids are stupid. They'll do anything. Oh, well, we'll just break into Orlando Bloom. Look, I'm wearing his watch. He had like 11 or 12 watches. Like 4 or 5 of them were Rolex. They took all of them. It was a really interesting documentary compared to the movie. I saw the movie. The movie's pretty good, but the real life story of this is so much more interesting. I was shocked by it. They were getting in. The more they stole and the clothes they were wearing, they started getting into bigger clubs. They started being seen more. They started doing more things and being seen, and they were living that lifestyle that they wanted. I mean, kids are a product of they don't read magazines anymore, and they don't. Oh, and what's the chick Esquire? Is it not Esquire? Is it Esquire magazine? I don't know. It's one of the big time magazines. Interviewed one of the girls while she was in jail, and they like trashed her. She thought that they were going to make her look good, and she was like this girl starving for attention that wanted to be famous for no reason, and like they put her through. They made her look like a piece of shit, basically. It's on
That's
Netflix.
how all the quote unquote influencers are now. They're famous for just doing TikTok dances or
Right. And I mean,
doing nothing.
Kids want that. Kids will do anything for that. So are the people that are famous for nothing guilty in a way of flirting that and promoting that type of lifestyle?
I
You know
don't
what I mean?
think so. Yes and no. That's a hard question.
I mean,
Because I don't
I'm not
blame them. I blame the people that worship them.
exactly. But
But I also blame them for flaunting it and acting like, just any Joe Schmo can get it like it's nothing.
exactly. And I mean,
Because
because if they were talking about 50, 70 years ago, if a actress's sex tape came out,
they were
they
done.
they were done. Now all it did was make Paris Hilton more famous.
All it did was make the Kardashians.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, that's the difference in society now. That's the difference in Hollywood. People kept to themselves. They didn't let you in their houses and let you into their personal life. They didn't let you know where they were going to be all the time. They would go out and
You'd go to like Studio 40 whatever and be like, oh, blah 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 might be here tonight. You never know. He comes here
right,
some nights.
right. Yeah, he might be out to eat. Now they call ahead and say, "Hey, we're going to be here for dinner tonight, or we're going to be, at this club."
Yeah.
Those people know. The paparazzi knows ahead of time those people are going to show up because that's
It's
where.
not like now where they just like, hey, I'm going to wherever tonight, 3 hours in advance, and they actually never
Right.
show up.
Right. They don't. There's no privacy anymore. I mean, some people are pretty private. Well, I've talked
Well,
about Sarah.
you get like Keanu Reeves, like nothing really about Keanu's personal
Whereabouts?
life.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Well, that's why I brought up. How many times have I brought up Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar? They live a normal life.
Yeah.
They really do. I think what's her name from the Clueless? She does too. Yeah.
I know who you're talking about. I can't
You know
think
what I'm
of
talking about? Yeah. She does the same thing.
There's plenty of actors and actresses who live normal lives because they don't want to be. It's just a job. They're not there to be, you know, famous.
Exactly. They're not. They're just doing. That's their job. That's their day job. And they have a normal life. They take their kids to school. When they can. They have a normal life. They cook for the family. They do everything.
And then you have Tom Cruise.
Right. Well, I remember reading somewhere like Gordon Johncock. He won the Indy 500 two times. He's like 80 something years old, and he's got a wood, like a lumber company. They cut down trees and that's his job now. His job was a race car driver. He don't have that job no more. He owns something else. He wasn't a famous race. To him, he was never a famous race car driver. That was just a job
Well,
he did.
isn't there like a football player, kind of a famous football player who's like a doctor now?
There has been, yeah, a few. There was a guy that played for the Cleveland Browns. He became a country music singer.
Hmm. Well, there was the guy that played for the Cardinals, became an Army Ranger, and died in
That's right.
Afghanistan.
Yeah, Pat Tillman. So, yeah, I mean, that to a lot of people, that's just their job. That just happens to be the job that they do, and then they live that normal lifestyle. Kudos to those people. But check it out. That's on Netflix. It's called Bling Ring.
But
It's a
they
Bling Ring.
also, they also go to links to not, they don't have a social media presence. They don't,
Right.
they don't live in Hollywood. They go to at length to not,
Exactly.
be around
Exactly.
that.
Well, and okay. So the crazy part is every time they show somebody, like they show one of the girls, and she's in this extravagant home with a piano behind her, and they show her mom, and she's in a beautiful home, and they show the guy that was ripping people off, and he's in this beautiful home too, right? At the end of the show, they get to the end of the show, and you find out that all of them are sitting in front of a green screen. So it's a total sham. However you think they live and where they're at, it was a green. Like I couldn't believe it. Like when they started green screening, I'm like, what? So they don't live in these big extravagant houses and these nicely decorated places. This is just, you know, it's a Google Meet.
Yeah.
It's Google Meet. That's essentially what it is. I was pretty surprised by that. But it's like I watched it all in one day. I think I watched it on Saturday. It's like for three or four episodes at 45 minutes. So you got Bling Ring, which was really good. And then of course Dahmer. Nobody watched Dahmer.
Just you.
Am I the only one? All 10 episodes? Oh my
damn,
God.
is that many episodes? Jesus.
Yes, it is. And that is that's not, I guess they got a new one coming out called the Dahmer tapes, which are probably like the John Wayne Gacy tapes or like the Ted Bundy tapes, I guess they got Dahmer tapes, And I got a question about this because this all really happened. So this is all public knowledge. There's two things. One, to you hear about, okay, well, he was a cannibal and he was really creepy and he drugged his victims and then he, chopped them up and saved the bones and saved the heads in the refrigerator. That's all sick, right? We know that. But when they start showing this shit on TV and how he acted and how he lured these people to his apartment is creepy as all get out. Like it is scary. And then one thing I noticed that somebody put it on TikTok. So he was murdered in prison, right? We all know that. Dahmer was killed in prison by another prison. By
I
another
didn't know
I didn't know
that.
Oh, really? Yeah, like
I
he
thought he
was
was executed.
no, he was only in prison like 2 or 3 years, and this guy beat the hell out of him with a metal pole, like a metal, like in a weight room, like a dumbbell. Things put weights on like the hand ones, the dumbbell ones. Beat the shit out of him. When I remember when this happened, when they talked about Dahmer getting beat to death, it was him and somebody else, and they were poking fun at this guy, and this guy didn't like him. And he never liked him because he thought that the guy thought that Dahmer was like proud of what he did, and that bothered him. So he beat the shit out of him. When this first happened, they said that Jeffrey Dahmer was sodomized with a broomstick, and
Ugh.
got the shit beat out of him, right? And somebody put that on TikTok, but it didn't happen in the miniseries, and there's nowhere of it on on Google. There's no news reports about that, and I would like to know if that actually happened and they made that disappear,
Huh.
because I remember hearing that he was sodomized by a broomstick, and they beat the shit out of him. Yeah, that guy got 2 life. Like, he was already in jail forever, and then he got like 2 more life sentences. So, like, big deal. But here's the question. So while Jeffrey Dahmer is in prison, he finds God and gets saved.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. He renounced God the whole time. He talked about how he hated God, didn't believe in God, blah 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 blah. And then he gets in jail, and he's he's happy because he's got fans. Like, people are writing to him, people are sending him money. They're asking for pictures, like, to draw, drawings or whatever. And people were sending him like a bunch of money. But yeah, they said that he got saved. He was baptized by a priest, by the
Well,
the chapel, by the chaplain.
I hope he was all right. I hope he was true.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. I mean, does he just say that? I mean, he killed 17 people, 15 people, 17 people, ate them, dismembered them, did horrible things to these people. But according to, the Bible, you ask forgiveness, you're not, you shouldn't be forgiven, but according to, religiousness, you are forgiven.
Well, good thing we don't have to decide.
I know, right? I thought that was pretty crazy. But I do remember hearing that he was sodomized in jail. But yeah, and I read this somewhere online today. Like, people are mad because women are saying that Jeffrey Dahmer was sexy, and holy shit, they did the same thing to Ted Bundy. This ain't no different. We all know that women like bad boys. And I mean, even when the Ted Bundy movie came out with my boy Zac Efron, and then when the documentary came out shortly after that, people talked about, oh, he was so good looking, he was so sexy. Yeah. And even that guy that murdered his wife and 2 kids, his pregnant wife and 2 kids out in Colorado or whatever, like, he was getting hit on while he's in jail. Like, women are writing him, talking about how good looking he is. But let's not forget, Ted Bundy did get his wife pregnant while he was in jail for, murdering a billion people. So,
Crazy.
and I think Charles Manson, he got a bunch of mail like that too.
Charles Manson still gets mail like that.
Well, he's dead.
Oh yeah, he did die.
Yeah, like, girls send naked pictures to him, which I didn't think they were able to get.
Well, they probably intercepted it, and they were just they were saying they were doing it.
Right. But I do believe. Oh, I think that happens quite a bit. So, but that's a good show. That whoever that guy does that plays Dahmer, I mean, it's creepy how much he looks and acts just like him.
Because he's an actor. Last of Us is got its first trailer. Pedro Pascal is playing Joel, and Bella Ramsey from Game of Thrones fame as the little girl that announced Jon as King of the North. I can't think of her
Oh
name.
yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Liana Mormont. She
Yeah,
plays
she's a good
Ellie.
actress.
Do you guys know what The Last of Us is?
It's a video game. Evan
It's
Peters was Dahmer.
Yeah, it's a video game on PlayStation. There's 2 of them. It's basically a zombie survival game, but it's got a really good story. The second one, I don't think it's as good as the first one. It's still good, but anyways, this one's kind of based off the first game. The series will be. It's like a mini series for HBO, of course. And the first game is one of the few games that's ever like I've cried at the end of it because it was so good. So I have
What?
like this game. This I have really really high hopes for this show.
I've never gotten that emotional.
It's
on
gonna
a
be
video.
a series, not a movie.
Yeah, it's gonna be serious. That's how good the game story was, Curtis.
I'm concerned about games and movies and TV series of games because they never turn out good.
Well, the Halo series isn't bad. Ow, biscuit. Um, the Halo series it wasn't bad and isn't bad. You just got to kind of disconnect it from like it's not following the story of the game completely.
Yeah, but like Silent Hill wasn't good. None of the Tomb Raiders were any good.
But they're making a turnaround. Oh, what was it called? The one that Spielberg made. Um, where they go into like the metaverse.
I don't know. Uncharted, was it any good?
It wasn't
Eh,
bad.
I don't
Oh, what the heck was it called? It was a book. It had all like the video game and movie pop culture characters in it.
Oh, I
They
know
had
what
like
you're
the
talking about.
Oh, Ready Player One.
yeah, Ready Player One. I consider that a video game movie.
That's a good movie.
Um, they seem to be making a turnaround. The problem is you just can't copy paste a video game story to to the big screen
Oh, you brought
because
up. Go ahead.
you go from being the character to just following the character, and there's a big difference in the feel. But I think video game movies are making a turnaround. I think developers are, learning. We just can't copy paste the story. We gotta, make it our own.
Speaking of which, Allison, the lady, the chick that plays Allison in
Yeah.
House of the Dragon, she was in Ready Player One. She was
Yep.
Artemis.
The new one, the
Olivia
new
Cook.
Allison, right? Or
Yeah,
the old
Olivia
Allison.
Cook. No, the new one.
There's gonna be one more time jump, and that's it.
Oh, really?
Really?
Episode 8 is apparently the last time jump.
Nice.
Oh, and real quick on the Dahmer thing, Evan Peters plays Jeffrey Dahmer. His dad is played by Richard Jenkins, who played the dad in Step Brothers,
Yep.
and Molly Ringwald plays his stepmom. So, and
Molly
his
Ringwald is making a comeback.
and then his grandmother was played by Mrs. Walton from the Waltons, Michael Learned. She was in the Waltons. She plays his grandmother. So, um, that's all I got. I think that I've watched.
All right. Anybody got a shower thought?
I had one earlier and I forget what it was.
Wow.
I kind of got one. I'll
Failure.
try to piece it together.
Go.
It was something that Aaron Rodgers said a couple weeks ago on Aaron Rodgers Tuesday on the Pat McAfee show. He was like, um, he was talking about words and how we kind of interpret them. Like the way he got to the subject was uh, like marijuana and like the ayahuasca thing that he does. A lot of people call them drugs, but he's like, they're not drugs, they're plants. And that's like, there's a main difference in between them. Uh, Drugs are like something from like a pharmacy or something and whatnot. So anyway, he was saying um, the word drug and other I guess words are kind of like go by like spelling them. Like something like along those lines, and how um, spelling is like casting a spell because now we it makes us think of the words differently because they're spelled. Um, I'm trying to just like put this. I forget exactly how
I'm
he
so
did it.
lost.
I am too.
So like no like so when we think of a word, we spell it, right? I mean, we could spell it, right? And spells are like from witches and wizards, of course, and they can alter your thoughts, maybe like a spell can, right? And that's what they're doing
Okay.
to some of these words like drug, like the drug, like when they label like ayahuasca and like marijuana as a drug, that's a spell because they're words and we spell them or something like that. I forget how he did it. I forget how he said it. This has been a couple weeks, but
Well, all drugs are plants at one point. Tylenol comes
And also
from
good.
the
maybe.
weeping willow, pretty much.
But they're
That's
they're,
the
they're,
amount-
they're manufactured though, right?
Yes.
Well, you take
Oh.
the bark and sap from a weeping willow and put it on like your arm. It'll
Well, I
pain
wouldn't
will go
call
away.
that. I wouldn't call that manufactured. Not like Tylenol or something.
Well, don't they manufacture weed pretty
They're
much
not
now?
opioid, but it's not. No, that's not. Those are not opioids. Opioids are those are the manufactured.
It's
Except
still
heroin.
from the poppy plant. pretty
Heroin.
much.
That's heroin. Yeah, heroin's an opioid, right? That's
So
from the
is
poppy.
so is most painkillers.
What about cocaine?
It's from the cocoa plant or
That's right.
cocoa plant.
Cocoa, right?
I forget how it's said. Anyways, in my opinion, all drugs come from a plant at one point.
Drugs are bad. Okay.
Okay. Anyways, you can, ponder more things with us at Hoosier Nerds on Facebook, Pod Nerds on
Facebook.
Twitter.
Twitter.
You can listen and watch us at YouTube at Hoosier Nerds Podcast.
YouTube podcast.
You can watch Chris get his ass kicked on twitchtv.com/sagez. And you can listen to us at your favorite podcast networks, Amazon, almost a Hulu, and Amazon.
Dude, what? Hulu and Amazon? What? Dude, I forgot to
Amazon,
tell you.
iTunes.
I had a dream the other night. I had a dream. I was a prison in. I was stuck in a Russian
And you got
prison.
sodomized by a
No,
broomstick.
I was in a Russian prison, right? And like I kind of escaped out this door, and all it was this like this outdoor area, and it was snowing and cold, and it had four tall walls, and I couldn't like climb out. So I knocked on this window, and this guy with a gun came, and he let me back in, but I was a prisoner. And for some reason, I got to go outside the prison, but I was still a prisoner. And my parents drove up. I don't know how they got to Russia. And my dad said that they were going to call the State Department to try and get me back home, Then my ex-wife pulls up, and like she's dropping people off to go see people in the prison.
Which ex-wife?
Becca.
Okay.
Why? I don't even know why she showed up in the dream. And I was like, I didn't even like her in the dream. But anyway, my parents were going to get a hold of the State Department, and she was there to help me get out. And that's all I remember.
Cool story, bro.
So take it for what it's worth. I was in a.
You can hear more cool stories like that at iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn, and Amazon. And
Yes.
you'll never wonder why Chris is in a Russian gulag again.